I don't know. It don't, with me, it don't matter. You know, like I said, this is my division, and no matter how much confidence he got, this is my division. And I'm about to show the world and stamp it come June 27th.
You're jumping right in with the man that people believe is one of the top fighters in any weight class in all the boxes. The question I have is why? Why were you so insistent on making this fight happen?
To be great, you have to face the great guys, right? He's one of the best at 154 pounds. And I say I'm the best at 154 pounds. Only way to find out is by stepping in the ring.
Like I said before, I think he's a solid fighter, you know, a good fighter. Yeah, he champion for a reason, you know, but I think I do everything better. You know, all around the board, I do everything. I can box, I can bang. Inside, outside, mid-range, whatever you want to do, I can do. And
ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn, lock the doors, and hide the group chat receipts because something absolutely wild is happening in boxing right now. And the deep
bring to the table that could make this difficult.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't take nothing from him. He's a good fighter. You know, I appreciate him. You know, appreciate him for giving me an opportunity. And but I don't really see much. He's a great fighter. He got good fundamentals, good jab. He's smart at times. You know, but like I said, no, I'm taking over. This is my division. It don't matter what he do. It don't matter what he bring to the table. I'm gonna show the world why I'm the best in the world, and we're gonna.
For you, look, the stranger it gets. Everybody thinks this story is about Jaron "Boots" Ennis versus Xander Zayas, but allegedly, according to fans, insiders, commentators, and every boxing discussion exploding across social media, this might actually be a story about something much bigger.
I'm gonna take them belts. The belts come back to Philadelphia.
At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. And I want to see it.
I'm taking them belts.
And
they come back
that's
to
what
Philadelphia
it is.
straight like that.
Hey, you're supposed to think that way.
Ain't no think I know.
You're supposed to think that way.
Ain't no think
Everybody
I know.
have think that way.
Ain't no think I know.
All right. 23 have tried.
So yeah, I'm not them boys you fought. All right. You
I'm not them
bro,
boys you fought either.
if I would have fought them same two guys that you fought, they would have been bashing the mess out of me, bro. It's levels, bro.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, it's levels.
All right.
And you're gonna see for yourself. And I'm gonna make you feel everything. And I want you to keep that same energy.
Because the moment this fight was announced, the energy changed. Suddenly, everybody started talking louder, arguing harder, and picking sides like they were choosing teams for the final battle of a boxing universe that nobody realized was quietly forming behind the scenes. And here's where things get interesting. Xander Zayas walked into the situation talking like a man who already saw the ending of the movie.
Levels, and I'm really gonna show him why I'm the best in the world.
Right, and as far as weight, he was talking about moving up to 54 and that being a big difference.
Yeah.
And you were talking about sparring bigger guys, man. You putting them out.
Bro, I box bigger guys. I fight bigger guys. Every time I box somebody bigger, I put him out. He's not even. He's talking about he bigger or whatever. He's not even big. He got on like little hill platform shoes. Like we're the same height, bro. Like.
Do you think at the championship level, weight really makes a difference, or it comes down to boxing IQ?
The championship level coming down to boxing IQ and who really that, and I'm gonna show. Like I said, on fight night, I'm gonna show I'm really that.
Did you find it amusing? I think I read it. I think he was saying that you was too small. Like did you find
he said he tried to say I was little, bro. He's the same height, bro. Like he gonna find out. I'm gonna show him. He ain't really too much to say.
Would love to know. Do you consider him besides yourself? Do you think he's the best guy at 154? Just using the eye chest at least.
Eye chest. I feel like he can.
Confidence, through the roof, belief, unlimited. But then Boots Ennis looked at that confidence the way a shark looks at a pool float. And just like that, the temperature changed. Because Boots wasn't talking about possibilities. He wasn't talking about maybe. He wasn't talking about hypotheticals.
More about Boots and what you guys see about him, because that's something that I've always gotten from everybody. No matter who I talk to, they always talk about how dangerous, how skilled Boots is.
He's a complete fighter. He's a puncher, he's a boxer, he's a countering, he knows how to work angles perfect, so he's a dangerous fighter. A complete fighter, he's a dangerous fighter.
It is. I mean, he has everything.
What's Xander missing to be a complete fighter himself?
I say experience. I say fight more. I think he should have fought more like fighters that are experienced on their way out, who can give him those rounds, who can push him to the limit, who can take him to deep waters. I think he's gonna be.
He was talking like the division already belongs to him and everybody else is simply renting space. And you won't believe what happened next, because every time somebody tried to hype up Zayas, another analyst appeared saying, wait a second, Then another former champion appeared saying, "Hold on." Then another trainer jumped in saying, "Not so fast." Suddenly it felt like boxing's entire witness protection program came out of hiding just to give their opinion.
Crawford never wanted to fight him. You know, he's dangerous. He did camp with Canelo. He was keeping up with Canelo, which is a bigger fighter. So he has experience. He's been out there. Yeah. It's just he hasn't got that chance yet. And I think...
See that fight going. Do you think maybe Xander's a little bit too young there?
Too soon.
Too soon. You think it's too soon?
Brother. Yeah, I love Sanders. And if he waits and if he's smart and his team is smart, they'll hold on at least 2 more fights. And then, you know, release him to the wolves. And that's, I'm just speaking realistic in how I see it, because I wouldn't want him to lose a really hard fight and him just declining. You get me? And it happens. We've seen it with fighters where it's too soon of a fight. I mean, let's not go far. I mean, I hate to use him as an example, but when Vargas fought Trinidad, it was too soon, brother. And, you know, you gotta be patient with your fighters, and I think they have to be patient with Xander Zayas. Not that I'm saying that he can't win. Maybe he can, but maybe he's gonna get hit too much or injured himself. You get me? So wait a little bit first.
And the opinions were not subtle. One expert says Zayas is stepping into a masterclass. Another says he's walking into a storm. Another says he's talented enough to shock the world. Then another says Boots might be the worst possible opponent for a young star trying to prove himself.
And also I'm thinking about is if you really watch Boots, Boots does look special all the time. But there's cases where he gets hit a lot. And you're like, man, for you to be so good and so special, why are you getting hit from some of these lower class fighters? So Xander might have seen that. So you know what? Yeah, I know Boots is special. I know he's really, really good, etc. But I see things in this game where I can exploit. And I think when you...
No, you don't get to say all this right now.
Why not? I mean,
And somehow every opinion makes the drama even bigger. But wait. Fake breaking news. Reports suggest social media detectives have entered the chat. That's right. The internet has decided to become a full-time private investigator. Fans are replaying old fights, they're slowing down clips, they're analyzing footwork like they're decoding ancient treasure maps. They're spotting moments where Boots gets hit.
I like his movement. I like how he's carried himself, and I like him. I've seen his growth, you know, calling his fights on ESPN. He's got a lot to like. He's got the range. He's got the height. He's tough. You know, he got a whole country behind him, and he fully embraces trying to be the next great Puerto Rican champion. And he's going to cause some problems for Boots Ennis throughout this fight. But the question, my initial question is this too soon? Or is it the right time? Is it ripe and the right time for Xander Zayas? And for Jaron Boots Ennis, he needed this name. He needed this kind of matchup, because that's been the biggest knock on him. It's like, yeah, you passed the eye test. We see you have skills. We respect your movement with your father and coming from Philly and everything that you guys do. We know, you know, it's widespread rumors, and not just rumors, but the truth is that Boots is he's a gym rat, and he lives boxing. He really loves the sport. And you see that when he fights. But the question or concern that I have for Boots is
they're spotting moments where Zayas fades late. They're building theories on top of theories on top of theories, and suddenly nobody is discussing one fight anymore. They're discussing a giant boxing mystery. Because here's the question nobody can stop asking. Is Boots Ennis a future king who hasn't fully been appreciated yet? Or is he a superstar with hidden flaws waiting to be tested? And that's where the story flips. Because
that I don't always see Boots, even though he does have skill defensively, he doesn't always use it. I see Boots sometimes get hit with clean flush shots. And I'll see him get hit in a fight with a repeated shot. And my boxing brain says, you took that shot against this guy. What if you get hit with that same shot against that guy? So those are my initial concerns about the fight for both guys. But if it is the right time for Xander, and he's able to
stop Xander, he could. I've been reading a lot of comments and stuff from people saying that, 9, 10. I've been also seeing, 11. I just got done studying some Xander Zayas, man. Late in the fight, he begins to fade. Round 8, 9, he starts to fade. Yeah. He starts to fade because all that weight he put on. He put on so much weight.
Every time somebody points out a weakness in Boots' game, somebody else responds by reminding everyone that the man keeps winning. Every single time. Every criticism somehow turns into another compliment. It's like trying to insult a luxury sports car by saying it drives too fast. And meanwhile, Xander Zayas keeps getting caught in the middle of the debate. One minute people call him the future, the next minute people say the future arrived too early. One minute he's boxing's next superstar.
Meet him with a left hook or meet him with a right hand, but you know, it wasn't nothing that was like crazy. You know, with head movement, the shit that Boots gonna be doing, all that head moving and sliding, tucking and moving on angles and shit. Boots, that's what Boots gonna attack is at late. And Boots got power. He got major power, man. And there's spots where I see Xander, he just gets himself in some bad spots, man. He drops his hands a lot. I see too much exposure on that left side. Way too much exposure on that left side. He gonna have to keep that left hand glued to his face because that overhand right of Boots is lethal. It's lethal, man. And Boots turn that uppercut up the middle too, especially from the southpaw stance when Xander's leaning forward, man. Another lethal shot. But man, I see a lot of holes. And
next minute, analysts are acting like he's about to take the hardest exam of his life with no calculator. And this is where it gets worse. Because now the conversation isn't even about talent anymore. It's about timing. The most dangerous word in boxing. Fans are saying great fighters don't just need skills, they need the right moment. And allegedly, according to online speculation, that's the giant question hanging over this entire event.
Boxing Mind, I was wondering if I could pick your brain with a particular matchup that was announced yesterday. You sparred with both of these gentlemen. It's Boots and Zayas.
Oh, yes.
From what I understand, Zayas, a little younger into his career. Boots, I believe sometime last year, we were able to get some work with him.
Yeah.
And you said it's a little closer than what some people are saying. So how do you view that in particular?
Sure, man. You got two soldiers. You know, we always identify ourselves as warriors, you know? So you guys know that we're warriors, right? But I think a lot of times, a lot of fans, they forget that there's two warriors, and they get so caught up in what one warrior has, and they completely forget that even though this guy's got something, listen, this guy standing across from you, like I was saying on the Borderway podcast, we understand that this guy is dangerous, and until we put that guy in the right position, we can't just do it all, you know. And I truly do think that Xander has a lot, not just some.
Did Xander choose the perfect moment? Or the worst one imaginable? Fake breaking news. Another plot twist has entered the building. Because now former champions are comparing this fight to past situations where young stars got accelerated toward greatness, only to discover greatness punches back. Suddenly, every prediction sounds like a warning disguised as a compliment. He's talented, but he's gifted, however. He's special, although those three words keep showing up. But, however, although, and every time they do, the suspense grows. Because nobody seems
Stick with the two-piece. I got Boots by knockout, 9 or 10. Xander not it. What's your thoughts? You think a knockout would happen?
I don't know. Xander can box. Xander is a big guy. He didn't field out for the weight. You know what I'm saying? He's put on a little bit more muscle. You know, I don't know. I think he
gold his own.
It's not. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and I think I don't want to underrate. I don't want to overrate Karen, and I don't want to underrate him. You know, but I think if a guy like Karen can actually do even better, he did better even in the second fight. You know, so I don't. You know, I think Xander probably right there with him. So I will give it a good chance. I don't know, but I think it's an interesting fight because, I mean, I think Boots is the heir apparent. Everybody is waiting on Boots to outshine the pack.
Completely comfortable betting against Xander, yet nobody seems completely comfortable betting on him either. That's the weird part. That's the scary part. That's the fascinating part. And then Boots Ennis starts talking. And when Boots talks, it's not the words that grab attention. It's the certainty. The certainty is what makes people nervous. Because confidence can be faked. Certainty is different. Certainty sounds like somebody already watched tomorrow's headlines. And every time Boots says this is his division, social media erupts again.
A guy like Xander, I mean, he still got a lot to prove, but that goes right in the right direction. You know, that opens him up for the Kelly fight, which he's with over there with those guys. He can do that. Or, you know, he can fight Fendora, who's the king of the
negotiations. And
he wants to. We ain't gonna put.
Anything happens though. Anything can happen.
No, I think that's gonna be all right. You know, if Top Rank. I don't know how serious the negotiations is, but I think definitely want to put Boots in with a champion. You know, being that Virgil Ortiz, the fight didn't materialize. It was a hot fight, wasn't for the championship. Again, I said that, you know, Boots being a champion, a unified champion, a lineal champion, he's going to want a title belt around his waist, which most fighters do. You know, it brings more money.
Some fans call it confidence. Others call it pressure. Others call it destiny. But everybody is talking. Everybody. Which leads to another twist nobody saw coming. The pressure may actually be on Boots. Wait, what? Exactly. Think about it. Everybody says Boots is supposed to win. Everybody says Boots is the favorite. Everybody says Boots is the proven star, which means every round he doesn't dominate becomes a headline. Every mistake becomes a conversation. Every clean shot he absorbs becomes a social media clip. Suddenly, the favorite doesn't look so comfortable anymore. Suddenly, expectations become their own opponent. And allegedly, according to fans online, that's where things get dangerous, because expectations have ended careers faster than punches. But just...
You got Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas. Big fight in Barclays Center.
Yo, I seen it. I said, hold on now. Hold on now, Xander. Shorty nice. He nice. I would hate for it to be an upset. I'm going with Boots. Why? He got more of his man strength now. Not only do he got more of his man strength, he's learning himself better. He still got kinks that I see. I don't think nobody else see it, but I see it. I feel like his raw...
When you think the narrative is settled, Xander Zayas does something that completely resets the conversation. He keeps showing up unfazed, calm, focused, relaxed, almost too relaxed. And now people are asking another question. What if everybody underestimated the fact that he believes every word he's saying? What if this confidence isn't an act? What if this isn't youthful enthusiasm? What if this is calculated? Suddenly, the underdog narrative starts growing teeth. Suddenly, people who were leaning one direction start leaning another. Suddenly, the entire story changes again. Fake breaking news. Social media has officially entered civil war mode. Team Boots versus Team Xander. Prediction videos everywhere. Debate panels everywhere. Comment sections melting down. Friendships probably being tested. Family dinners potentially becoming awkward. The boxing world has turned into one giant argument, and nobody wants to
compensate for that. You know what I mean? He's ambidextrous.
His athletic ability.
Yeah. Ambidextrous. He can go from left to righty. And I feel like his natural skill, athleticism-wise, he'd be able to pay up for his role.
And here's the craziest twist of all. The more experts explain why Boots should win, the more intriguing Xander becomes. And the more people talk about Xander's potential, the more terrifying Boots sounds. It's a perfect loop of drama, a perfect storm of hype, a perfect recipe for chaos. Because if Boots wins, people will say they knew it all along. If Xander wins, people will act like they saw the signs from the beginning. Either way, somebody is rewriting history after the fact. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. But let's go deeper, because hidden underneath all the predictions, all the analysis, and all the debates is another story. A much bigger story. This isn't just about one fight. This is allegedly about ownership of the future. The future of the division, the future of the spotlight, the future of who becomes the name everybody talks about next year. That's why the emotions feel different. That's why the reactions feel louder. That's why every interview suddenly feels like a movie trailer. Because people aren't watching a fight announcement. They're watching a succession battle. And the winner may leave with more than a victory. They may leave with momentum, attention, leverage, opportunity, and that invisible thing every superstar needs: belief. The belief of fans, the belief of promoters, the belief of the entire sport. And now we're arriving at the final twist. The twist that changes everything. Because what if all this debate about who wins is distracting everybody from the real story? What if the real winner isn't decided by the result at all? What if the real winner is the fighter who leaves with the public's imagination? Think about it. If Boots dominates, his superstar status explodes. If Xander exceeds expectations, even in defeat, his profile could rise higher than ever. Suddenly, the fight starts looking less like a risk and more like a launch pad. Suddenly, the argument changes completely. Suddenly, this isn't a story about survival, it's a story about positioning. And if that's true, then every prediction, every controversy, every debate, every viral clip, every heated exchange may have been building towards something much larger than a single night in the ring. So now the question isn't whether Boots Ennis can prove this is his division. And the question isn't whether Xander Zayas is ready for the moment. The real question is this: are we watching a fight? Or are we watching the beginning of boxing's next era without even realizing it?